Hi, welcome to my channel, My Great Wall of Manga. I'm Amanda and I've been in love with manga for well over a decade. In fact, I even built a wall out of it. On this channel, I'll be pulling a series off the wall at random, and we'll go over a quick summary, introduce you to some of the main characters of the series, and I'll give you 5 reasons why you should read this manga. Okay, in this episode, we're going to be looking at the manga Imadoki. This is written by Yu, which is also the author of Fushigi Yugi, Mysterious Play. The story is about Tanpopo, a teenage girl that moves from the very rural countryside of Hokkaido to the big city to attend a somewhat elite high school for the rich and powerful. On the first day of school, she makes a friend outside the building. And unfortunately, when she sees him the next day, he acts like he doesn't know her, which kind of gets her confused, because he seemed very friendly the day before, and when she first met him, he seemed to really love and care about plants. When she meets him again, he suddenly doesn't care about plants. And he kind of pretends to ignore the terrible situation of the flower beds at the school. Well, one thing leads to another, and Tanpopo decides to start a gardening club at the school and tend to the neglected flower beds as a way to try to get closer to her first friend at school. Even though her plan is to improve the flower beds and the plants in and around the school campus, it's kind of against school rules to do so because only artificial flowers are allowed on campus. So she's kind of risking being expelled with her plan to get closer to her first friend. Okay, now for the characters. First up is Tanpopo. She is one of those classic shoujo characters that's very cheerful, hardworking, determined, and she doesn't take no for an answer. Tanpopo in the Japanese language of flowers is dandelion, and it kind of stands for someone who is very resilient and never backs down, and that definitely describes the main character. She is very determined, and even though the male lead that she wants to make friends with keeps on telling her to go away, stop bothering him, ignore him, he doesn't want anything to do with her, she does not take that as an actual answer and decides that she just needs to try harder to be his friend. Next up is Koki. Koki is the male lead and the first friend that Tanpopo tries to make. He is the son of the founder of the school and a member of a very powerful and rich family. He's also a closet gardening geek. He doesn't like anybody knowing about it, but he loves gardening, he loves plants, he loves flowers. Though he tries to keep it hidden, he would do just about anything to spend his days gardening. In fact, when Tanpopo first meets him, she catches him gardening and gives him the nickname Scoop because he yelled at her for nearly running over a dandelion and threatening her with a small shovel. Next up is Saionji. Saionji is a girl that acts like she wants to be Tanpopo's friend and even takes her side on multiple occasions and tries to help her with tending to the flower beds. But in reality, she's kind of manipulative, money hungry, and only acts sweet. And lastly, we have the students at Mayo High School. As a group, they kind of hate Tanpopo. Not only is she not elite, rich, or powerful, like they believe they are, they don't like that she's trying to get close to Koki, who is very rich and very powerful, and so they treat Tanpopo kind of like a weed and bully her every single day. And when they're not bullying her, they're trying to suck up to Koki. Now, 5 reasons why you should read the manga Imadoki. Number 1. Each character is really unique and has quite a bit of depth. I mean, usually with these kind of anime, the cheerful, sunshiny main character usually just stops at that. There's nothing that really is the reason why she's cheerful or sunshiny. Whereas with this manga, it actually goes into an explanation of, oh, she actually has tons of friends at her old high school, and they are supporting her. Even though they are really far away, they're sending her letters and photos and calling her and keeping her spirits up. So even though it seems like at her new school she's alone, really she's not alone at all. She has tons of friends, they're just not with her right now. Number 2. The artwork is really delicate and pretty. If you're familiar with other artwork and stories by Yu Watase, this definitely is the same style. Very intricate hair and facial drawing, very elaborate costumes and outfits. Really excellent artwork. Number 3. It's from the creator of Fushigi Yugi. So if you're familiar with that story, or if you're familiar with other works by Yu Watase, the story is not similar, but it has kind of the same mood. The characters are interesting and have a lot of depth, a lot more than you would usually find. There's, of course, cute little critters included, and the main character, like so many main characters in Yu Watase manga, has an adorable little pet fox that keeps her company. Very cute. Number 4. Gardening themed manga. You almost never find a gardening themed manga. I mean, there's very few manga that include different plant themes or even nature themes, but specifically one that does include quite a bit of scenes of gardening is nice and refreshing, particularly if you're a fan of gardening. And number 5. It flips the classic shoujo romance on its head. The main character insists on being the friend of the male lead from the very beginning, almost from the very first page. There is no slow burn romance. This is like immediate. The main character's main focus is to become friends with the male lead. That is like the first story arc. And so basically through the rest of the series, they are close. There's no like question of, gee, are they going to get together? Are they not going to get together? No, they're together. And so that's kind of nice and refreshing. If you've gotten a little tired of the constant takes the entire series for the two main characters to get together, this definitely does not have that. It's the exact opposite, which I kind of like sometimes. Okay, that is my review of Imadoki. Thank you for visiting my channel, My Great Wall of Manga. If you're interested in anime too, please visit my website, animehanabi.com.